What's up, guys? Welcome to Every Inch Counts podcast, and we are back with a new episode today. We are back with Faye Zimmerman, my wonderful girlfriend. And before we start, I want to say thank you to Southside Jake and Danvern's Tavern and Lounge for allowing me to not only go there and interview, but having everything I needed. It was great. Go check them out. Go to Davern's. Have a good time. The place is a great time. Wish you were there. That would have been cool if you would have just experienced it.
I had to get coffee that morning.
Yeah, you had to go out and get something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, today's episode we got a real doozy for you today. It's gonna be really good. Netflix released the new season of Love Is Blind. We talked about it before on here, but we're gonna dive deep because this season has been full of just left turns after left turns after left turns here.
There's only 4 episodes left.
Yeah, there's 4 episodes left, so we want to give a deep dive of what we watched so far. So if you haven't watched it yet, you might not want to watch this episode.
Yeah, this is going to contain a lot of spoilers.
But if you have watched it, follow along. It's going to be a ride. So we started with the first couple episodes, literally like the first 4 episodes, honestly, in the pods.
Oh, yeah. Which I feel like is quite normal, but there are some, because each episode's an hour. So there is some couples I feel like that get engaged like the second episode.
Yeah.
Which this season, I feel like it took literally all 4 episodes.
For everyone to get engaged?
Yeah.
Well, we did have one the first episode at the very end.
Did they get engaged?
That's when Garrett and Taylor got engaged.
I thought that was the second episode.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the first one.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. It could be the second one.
I don't remember. It's so long ago. I know they were the first couple to get engaged. But
yeah, I think it might have been the first episode. I'm pretty sure it is. I didn't do that type of research on this. I'm just basically going off of what we remember. But there were a couple drama pieces out in the pods this season.
But I feel like because this season everyone is in their late 20s, early 30s, like some late 30s. I think all of the ones that are engaged are like mid 30s though. Like the oldest.
It seems like this cast is older.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is they actually actively want to get married compared to earlier seasons where it just was like people that weren't sure what they wanted, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is true. There are a lot of people that are really like, I just want to get married.
Yeah, like there's some drama, but there's always drama.
There wasn't a whole bunch of people, because I know in seasons there were multiple people that were just there for like the clout.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, within the next 4 episodes that come out, it could turn out to be a whole bunch of people were like that.
I have a theory of one couple, but we'll get into that later. I don't think I've told you my theory though.
No, I don't think you have. But there were essentially 2 love triangles, or 1 love triangle and 1 love square. Is that what we call it? The love square was with Leo, Hannah, Brittany, and Nick.
But I wouldn't consider it a love square because Nick was off on his own. Like, he only wanted Hannah.
Yeah.
But, okay, well, actually, I won't say that. There was a little snippet of coming up in the last episode that showed Nick talking to one of the girls from the pods that we never saw. But...
Yeah. So we had that, and that led into Nick and Hannah getting engaged, and then Leo and Brittany getting engaged, and we'll get all into that later in the episode. And then the second love triangle was with
Bodhi.
Oh, Marissa, Ramses, and Bowden.
Bowden.
Okay. Yeah. Marissa and Bowden, both veterans.
Yeah.
And
which I don't understand what happened.
We'll get into that later too. But somehow
Marissa and Ramses got engaged.
Yeah, somehow Marissa and Ramses got engaged. But honestly, there wasn't that much drama in the pods. Like usually,
the only drama in the pods was between Hannah and Leo. And Brittany and Leo.
That was the only thing because he wanted to pick.
And I guess there was some with Hannah and Nick. But I don't know. We can talk about when we actually get to them. But there was drama with them. I don't know if you remember the drama, but there was drama with them. And then who is the other one? There was one more. Because it wasn't with Marissa. I think it was with Monica. Because Sheeta wasn't just with Steven, if I remember correctly. There was one other guy.
There's another guy. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
I think
that one wasn't a big one.
No, it wasn't a huge drama, but that was one that like kind of got glazed over.
But that relationship, though. Ooh,
yeah.
Holy shit.
I feel like
we could deep dive.
Some of these people, I'm like, oh my God.
But let's start off with the first couple, right? Garrett and Taylor, first couple on the list.
I really like them.
I do too. I feel like they're the most, after watching all the episodes, they're the most solid.
I feel like they complement each other very well.
I do feel like it is a huge ask to go move to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge ask.
Well, it's far away from his family.
Well, they're based in Washington, D.C., so that's literally across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like the furthest east to the furthest west. Like that's a big move. And for him to want to do that's ballsy. I'll give him that. It's ballsy. I don't think I'd do that. Like right off the jump like that.
Sorry, guys. I had a long weekend. But I feel like Garrett wants love.
I do too.
And Taylor like wants to give it to him too. I feel like she did say this in the episodes that she's just not going to give everything. She wants to receive stuff too because she didn't have that before. So I feel like they have the most, like you said, the most realistic in a way where they are engaged and they are working towards getting married within the time frame of the season, but they're also still dating in their eyes.
Yeah.
Which I like.
They don't know how serious it is yet.
Yes, which I think is very realistic.
Yeah, which is cool. There really no drama with these two. Was there?
No, but in the preview for the next couple episodes, there's drama coming.
There's drama coming.
Yeah.
Man.
I do remember them saying in the coming up episodes that he texted an ex.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you were on your phone at that point. Like
I might have been, yeah.
Because I always watch the coming up preview. Yeah.
Oh, no, I watched that. I just didn't remember it.
Yeah. She got mad at him because of that.
Wow.
So we'll see if it's true because I feel like some things they put in coming up is not actually accurate sometimes. Because we thought, well, and it could be in this later episodes, but in the what I really got mad about this season is in the beginning they showed a preview of the whole season.
Oh yeah, that was some dumb shit.
So we knew who was going to be with who almost,
yeah,
and who was going to be main character, like who was going to be followed, and one of the ones in the beginning, I hear someone say, and I'd have to rewatch it to figure out whose voice it is, but I heard someone say, "If I wasn't engaged, I would totally be with you." And we haven't heard anyone say that yet, so it's coming up, or it got thrown out of proportion.
Yeah. I wonder.
Yeah.
Because they do that a lot. They put little lines there with different lines out of context and make it a whole different story.
Yeah. So
which we caught already this season.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
if
we will.
Another thing.
But I like them.
I do.
And through the whole situation between Steven Steven. Yeah, it's not Stefan, it's Steven.
Steven and Monica.
Yeah, Steven and Monica. They were there. Something we will definitely deep dive. They were right there, and
Taylor was inside with Monica. Garrett, I don't think was there. I think he came after because he did talk about how when he came after, like he came and she said that to him, like
Yeah.
they came after. But the one thing with Taylor and Garrett is I know his family said they were okay with it. I still feel like they're being a little iffy about it.
I feel like her family's not in with it.
No, not at all. I feel like they want their daughter happy, and we haven't met her family yet. We'll like meet them probably next episode. But I really do think that it's gonna be hard for her because she seems very in tune with her family, giving her support. If they don't support it, I don't know what's going to happen.
I will tell you something. When you're saying family don't support it, there's a lot of family this season that does not want to be involved.
Well, there's only 2.
I feel like that's more than it has been. But
Yeah.
they always say like, I'll come there and walk you down the aisle. It's usually the female end this time around. But there's some families we don't even get to meet because they just don't want anything a part of it. So this one is honestly almost one of those ones where you don't learn about her family at all until these last 4 episodes.
Well, they're flying in.
Yeah.
So, like, they weren't originally going to fly in to meet him before the wedding.
Yeah.
They were going to just meet him, I think, over, like, FaceTime or something they talked about or something like that. Or they were originally going to come in and meet him, but they didn't want to be on camera for that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess they changed their mind because we do see a preview of them meeting on camera. So, I don't know.
But I think they're solid.
They scare me. Like, it's too good to be true.
Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah, I'll give that to you.
But in the first season, that was how Cameron and I'm gonna have to use my phone to look up her name. The first couple that got engaged the first season, they seem too good to be true, and they are married and very, very happy, and they are one of my favorite couples ever.
What is her name?
Lauren.
Oh, okay.
So Cameron and Lauren are one of my favorite couples from the first season. They were the first people to get engaged. They literally had I feel like the best relationship wise throughout post pods, and they are still happily married. And I thought they were too good to be true.
Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next couple. This next couple, I swear I feel bad for them. It's Nick and Hannah. Nikki D. Good old Nikki D.
I did not like Nick in the pods at all. Like, he annoyed me in the pods.
According to everyone, it was the talk of the town.
Well, he just acted like a frat boy in the pods, like in the beginning meetings, or at least that's how they edited it as.
What did he say he looked like?
Oh, he looked like Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill, who is Superman and The Witcher, if you need that, because I'm not good with actors' names either. And he looked like Travis Kelce.
Which he
together.
does not.
He has, I think, I feel like I could see where he's coming from with the hair and the beard, but he is so skinny, and those men are big, buff dudes. I'm so sorry, Nikki D, but you do not resemble them in that way.
At all.
I think he's a nice guy post pods, but in the pods, I was not sure about him.
Yeah, so their dynamic is weird. How they even got together is weird because Hannah did not want him at the beginning.
Well, Hannah liked him. Then the girls were telling her to not like him because they thought he was a player, and she was like, would always be like, well, first she got mad at him for talking about her in swimsuits and stuff, which I could completely understand because this whole thing is not about looks, and it's about personality.
Mm-hmm.
And she did confront and say that she was insecure in certain aspects and she did not want to talk about those things. And he respected it and he backed off. But the other girls thought he was a player, and she was like, I feel like you're just this like football star and you want me to be your cheerleader, but like I don't, like, I feel like you're going to play me and hurt me and stuff. So she broke it off with him.
Yeah.
And regretted it, I think, like a couple hours later.
It was like, hey, I want you back.
Yeah, I requested another date with him to take him back. And he took her back.
Yeah, that is crazy.
He took her back so easily. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, and their dynamic is funny. Like, it's I feel bad for him, but it is funny. It's a girl who's been on her own since she was 18 years old, and a guy who still lives at home in his mom's basement.
Yeah.
And she knows how to do everything. He doesn't know how to do shit. And their dynamic is so weird when it comes to that. And then even before that, they were in Mexico, right? They go to Mexico, right?
Yes.
And they're on the beach. They're relaxing. He wanted to have a little bit of fun, and he found these like goose things, like goose seats that I don't even think they were movable. I think they were just seats, and he was like, "Oh, I can move those." And then he goes to ride on them.
Well, first of all, Hannah looked at him and said, "If you do that, I'll have the biggest ick ever."
Yeah.
Which, granted, I understand getting icks. But literally, I told Josh when she said that, I was like, I like will joke with Josh and be like, "Oh, that's an ick. Oh, that's an ick." But like at the end of the day, like I think it's funny. Like I love what you do. Like I love like even like the little icks. Like we laugh about them. It's not something I'm gonna like be like, "Don't do that," because it's gonna give me the ick.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like if you, maybe it's just me, but I feel like if you love someone or you like you say you love someone, even if they give you the ick in the way that he did, you should still be able to laugh at it.
And my thing is too, he probably did it to piss her off.
I don't think so.
But that old lady that came out as he was about to hop on, this old lady had to be some like gilf or something. She was old.
I don't think she was that old. She didn't look that old.
Well, she was like, "Can I race you?" And he's like, "Of course." And then they race. He beats her. She starts laughing, like being loud with him. And then Hannah said something.
It was before they raced.
Was it before?
Literally, the lady walked up and Hannah goes, she snaps her fingers. Nick, come here. And then the lady goes, "Oh, that's your girl? Don't be jealous, girl. Don't be jealous." And then they start laughing.
And then that's when she got even more pissed.
Yeah, but then they raced after that.
Pissed to the point where she wrote down a list of things about him in plain sight, which he could see, which is so weird. It is a very, very disrespectful way to tell someone their problems.
Before we found that out, we saw the scene of her and Marissa. Okay, so first of all, Nick tells Hannah before they see everyone and meet everyone that he does not want to talk about their sex life to the cameras, to everyone else. Like he like implied it, so like the audience knew they were not going to talk about their sex life.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah tells Marissa, "Oh, I really want to look at that food over there." Walk over there, immediately looks at Marissa and be like, "So we had sex, but he doesn't want to talk about it in front of the cameras." And then proceeds to tell her that the lady that he raced with the duck said, "Don't be jealous, don't be a bitch." That lady never said that. And it's on camera. She never said that.
Yeah. She was definitely adding a little bit to that.
Yeah. Which I get, like, putting your own, I don't know, like a little more oomph in a story, but not in a story where you're talking about your significant other.
Yeah, no. And then that note came around that he found, and I thought that was some bullshit.
It's just, it seems very childish when she gets mad at Nick for being childish.
Yeah.
Talk about it, Hannah. Have a mature conversation.
Yeah. And I really don't think that these two are gonna end up together.
We're gonna vote at the end.
Oh yeah, we are gonna vote at the end. Oh man, my bad.
I don't think we ever touched subject on her and Leo's fight either when we talked about the love triangle.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't. How she
went to break up with Leo,
and it didn't happen.
Well, she went to go break up with Leo. Okay, so she told Brittany. Sorry, I promise this won't happen again. So she went to go break up with Brittany. She told Brittany, "I'm going to break up with them," and her and Brittany like jumped up and down, all happy, kind of thing, because literally. Her date before she told that to Brittany, her and Nick told each other they loved each other.
Mm-hmm.
She went to go break up with Leo, and she's telling Leo this, and he starts freaking out. Like, there are so many reenactment TikToks of like this scene. It is so funny. Like, he grabs everything he can possible and throwing things. He's like, "No, you can't do this, Hannah. Like you're letting the schedule decide who you want to marry. Like, if my date was first, you would love me. I love you." Even though the date before that, when he was with Brittany, he told Brittany it would be a disgrace if I told you I loved you, because I'm still talking to two people, and when I mean it, I mean it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So he basically
manipulated.
Yeah, did not want her to be the one to break up with him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, me and him were both going, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was cringing hard over Leo.
Oh, because Leo's like, kisses.
Oh, no. No, don't even.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll talk about Leo later.
We'll talk about Leo later because this next couple.
Are we done with Nick and Hannah?
Yeah. Because what else is there to talk about?
I put things in the outline.
Where Hannah feels like she needs to fix him.
Well, and like Hannah feels like she needs to fix him. I feel like Hannah feels like she needs to be his mother, which is an oldest sibling complex because I think she is the oldest sibling.
Yeah.
So I think it is an oldest sibling complex. I will say that, but she'll also like say little things to him, like diss him, like when she dissed him about his job, and his money, and then he gave the same energy back, thinking they were joking, and she got super mad and like walked away. And her brother was like, "Yeah, she does that to me all the time. Like she can't take it. Like she'll give it, but she can't take it."
That cracked me up.
That's her brother, right? Like we didn't just mishear that when they were talking.
That was her brother, and the way that he said that about her, no one has ever said that on the show before. Where like when two people going at it, and the brother is saying like, or like a sibling, is saying that it's her fault and not yours because it's usually the other side.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, that's how she is. It's terrible.
And it's just like I just don't fully understand because okay, my theory with Hannah and Nick is, and I saw someone else talk about this on TikTok, that Hannah is there for the clout.
I could see that.
And I don't know if I fully support the theory because like I feel like with things in Love is Blind, you can definitely tell who's there for the clout. And I feel like with her, I can't. So I don't want to judge it right away because like it's an actual person. It's not like it's like a social media influencer or a reality show star or stuff like that. Like she lives in the real, like the actual world and works. And
well, do you know what kind of I feel like is coming with that clout thing that you said? Didn't she quit her job?
Yeah, she quit her job to go on the show, and she doesn't have a job right now. So Nick's the only one doing making the money. And because when they were cooking dinner, she said something about his job. He goes, "Well, at least I have a job."
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You really cooked her.
Yeah. Which, I mean, and they were doing it right in front of the brother. Like, and I was like, I literally was like, I was holding my breath during that argument. I was like, I could feel the tension through the screen. Like, ugh.
I feel like that relationship is very toxic.
I do too.
Very, very toxic.
I do too.
Same with this next one.
What's the next one?
Ramses and Marissa.
Oh. Okay. I will say one thing. I will say one thing before we get into the love triangle of her and Bowden and Ramses. Ramses is one of the better looking dudes on the show this season. So I feel like there are so many people on social media right now that are backing Ramses, and I understand some of the points he makes can be true, but the way he's delivering them is not okay.
Oh yeah.
And just because he has a good face card, which means like you're attractive, does not mean you can act that way.
Oh yeah, no. Like the way that he, like my thing that really irritated me is I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, but once, because it could happen either way. But this topic, I feel like everyone as a unit, as a country, should come together and always support their troops.
Well, okay.
That really fucking pissed me off.
Okay, let's backtrack.
Okay.
Because, okay, so Marissa, Ramses, and Bowden love triangle. Ramses and Bowden were friends in the pods together.
They're boys.
When they found out they were both talking to Marissa, they mutually said, like, whoever gets her, like, respect type of thing. Marissa is a veteran. Bowden's a veteran. Ramses is not. And Ramses knew she was a veteran. Knew Bowden was a veteran. All in the pods. They talked about it.
Yep.
They discussed those things. And then post pods, they didn't have any serious conversations until they got to the apartment. In Mexico, they didn't have that. Like, all they were talking about was how good the sex was with each other.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And they finally sat down at dinner or whatever, and they were talking about it. And he straight up said, "I do not support the troops. I'm disrespecting what you did for a living and that you fought for our country, even though I knew that's what you did."
That you volunteered for.
Yeah, he could have said it in such a more respectful manner, and he just took a shot at her.
And then when it came to like, what happens if I have to resign? He goes, divorce.
Yeah.
That right there is, I'll be completely honest, pussy move.
It's just, I understand. Where is he from? Venezuela?
Yeah, and the relationship between the two countries is not good.
Which I understand. And I understand at some point that he is making. I do. I completely understand where he's coming from. Not from like me being from an outside country, but how his brain is working.
Yeah.
But it was so disrespectful the way he said it. To your fiance, to your significant other that you want to live your life with. You know what she did, and you know she loved what she did because she told you that.
And then he goes and fucking tells tells her friends too that are all veterans as well.
Yeah.
And straight up tells them like, yeah, because they were asking questions about it then afterwards, because I could tell that you could just tell on screen when it's heated.
Well,
like,
yeah. And one of her friends was like, "I'm a veteran, so you're disrespecting me at that point too."
Yeah. And then one of them asks the question of what happens if she resigns, or what was the term? It was there was a term that almost like a National Guard type of thing, where it's like I totally forgot it, but it's like part-time, like going and volunteering, coming back, kind of like that. And he goes, "Yeah, no, that's not happening." You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But that literally is so... I am so flabbergasted over this whole conversation with the way that he was saying just like, "Oh, I am not for the troops. I hate the military. I don't support it. I don't support you if you're involved with that."
Like, he straight up said, "It's not gonna work if you do that."
Yeah.
And the thing is like,
and he lives here.
Yeah, he immigrated here.
He lives here,
but
and he doesn't support his freedom. But that's just what I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is, you can still immigrate here and not be okay with the government, which many people do. Okay. But to the point of the military, that your future wife, that you were getting married at the point of, we ended with our episodes in 12 days, that you don't support what she did. You don't support what she wanted. That she did all of that. Like.
And then later on in the episodes, he meets her mom.
Hold on.
Okay.
We are going way too fast.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll slow it down. I'm heated.
It's fine. You jump ahead when there's things in between that you forget.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And he asked me to write things in the outline, and he didn't even look what I wrote down in the outline. But he I feel like didn't expect her to be so in tune with military the way she was, because she talked about it mainly with Bowden than she did with Ramses in the pods.
Yeah.
And I hoped she was going to end up with Bowden anyways instead of Ramses.
Me too.
Because I felt like they had much more in common. And she said that, I feel like, in the pods, if I remember correctly, like, me and Bowden have the most in common, but Ramses makes me feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
Which I understand that factor. I do. But happiness only lasts so long if there's nothing to build off of.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because if you have nothing that you both are kind of passionate about, if you can't, that's like saying, like, me and you, if you didn't like that I'm on social media, like, that would be like the same thing. Like, I don't like that you post videos online. Like, I feel like that's just stupid. Say like that, and I'll be like, all right, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm more talking like how me and you, I feel like if we didn't have, and I'm not saying every relationship has to have a lot in common. We have much more in common than I feel like
The average couple.
yes. I feel like if we did not have at least like half of what we have in common, we wouldn't every day having something new to do or something exciting to do or something we both want to do. And like I've been in relationships where like I'm bored when we're together because we both don't like the same things. We're just kind of sitting around, which is nothing wrong with sitting around hanging out watching TV, but like we'll build Legos, we'll do puzzles, we'll start a new TV show because we have the same taste in TV shows, which is absolutely awful sometimes.
It's awful.
We play the same video games, like stuff like that, like stuff to build off of. Compared to me with like a Ramses, if we had little things in common, but the overall picture was not together. Like, I feel like at some point you would get not bored, but nothing to grow with.
Yeah, and I have a feeling because there's a preview of her talking to him.
To Bowden, yeah.
To Bowden. Within the next 4 episodes, I'm hoping there's a switcheroo. I'm so hoping there's a switcheroo. This guy needs to be kicked to the curb.
But I don't think that... I know that happened... Was it last season? Or 2 seasons ago? Okay, so I don't think... Because they did it right outside of the pods.
They did it literally Mexico.
Yeah, what I'm saying is this season, when they meet each other, it's always, I think, a week before they get married usually, isn't it? Or when they meet everyone?
Yeah, they usually have like the gathering.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not. It's usually like a wedding party.
Oh, yeah. But I think it's usually a couple days before the wedding.
Yeah, because they have the wedding parties and they have the bachelor party and then they have the bachelorette party. And then they combine again.
Yeah.
And then
they meet everyone.
Yeah.
So I think they could potentially, okay, we won't give our rating for them, but I think potentially Marissa and Bowden could date if her and Ramses don't get married.
Well, I have a feeling that they won't. This is why. When he met her mom.
I love her mom.
I was clapping and laughing the whole time because I'm like, this kid is getting put through the ringer, and I am so happy about it because as soon as he would have opened up his mouth and say that he doesn't support the troops, I bet you that whole table would have flipped. And I really don't think that her family likes him.
Well, because, so Marissa's going to school to become a lawyer, and her mom wants them to get a prenup.
She was really adamant about that prenup.
Yes. Which is completely understandable, and I think Ramses said that he would. I don't remember.
He said he would, yeah.
But I do. Okay. So, Marissa, I'm so sorry if any Love Is Blind castmates are watching this. I don't know why they're watching this, but I'm so sorry because I feel like I'm offending people. But
I say thanks for watching.
But you can tell when they all meet. Marissa has a great relationship with her family and she loves them all, but when her mom like says things, like she gets annoyed. Like she not that she gets like a kick out of making her mom like doing the opposite of what her mom says, but when they were talking about, she was like, well, do you give me the blessing for us to get married? And she goes, are you gonna get the prenup? And she goes, and if I don't, she's like, then no blessing. She's like, well, I don't need it then.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they've had
some beef.
Yes.
There's some family beef in there.
Which is understandable. I mean, every family's different. But I feel like if he said that and they got mad, she would have defended him right away.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want that. So I'm happy they didn't bring it up because I'm sorry, Marissa girl, but
I feel like she's trying to stick up for him.
Stand on your shit. You are a strong, independent woman that's been in the military and is going to become a lawyer. Stand on your own 2 feet, girl.
Get rid of that fucking clown.
Like, stand on your own 2 feet.
And then the whole birth control.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
The way that he was trying to say, like, and I actually looked this up.
Okay.
And I've had some personal experience.
Okay.
It feels the same, ladies and gentlemen. It feels the same with or without a condom. And he kept on saying it don't feel good at all. Sex should feel good for both parties.
Which is true.
But if it feels the same, it does the same thing. She don't want to be put on birth control. It's just like this guy. I'm
gonna say that it's kind of funny, and it might be offensive, but I feel like Rams is the type of man that buys condoms too big for his dick because he thinks he has a bigger dick than he does, and that's why it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually like is a thing with condoms. Like if they're too big, it doesn't feel as good because you don't feel as much. But I would assume so.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that is true. If it is like a loose sock on there, then it definitely is not as good as if it was like on there.
I feel like that could happen. But
it's just the way that he was talking to her about it.
Well, and my thing is in the pods, he was so against toxic masculinity. He was so against men having like the original roles they had and everything like that. And then they get out of the pods and they start talking about birth control and safe sex and having kids. And he is immediately complete opposite. I want you on birth control. I don't want kids for this long. I don't care what you say. If we're not having sex if this and this doesn't happen. And she's like, well, I'm not getting on birth control, so you have to figure that out. And I was so proud of her for saying that. I was so proud of her for saying that.
Because that is fucked up. You can't just like, I can't just tell you to be like, hey, get on birth control. You know what I mean? Like that's just not something you say.
Some women don't because of medical problems. It literally messes with your whole body.
It messes with your mind too.
Like it's a whole thing. Some have to be on it for medical reasons. Like I have to be on it for medical reasons. Like there are so many factors to it, so many different kinds, so many everything. But like it's a huge change to your body. And if she already went off of it because she wants to be off of it because she wants to have kids, do something to prevent like another way.
Oh, yeah.
Like Rams, they make men's birth control. Why don't you try that?
Yeah.
It's a pill. What's the problem with it?
And I mean, I get it. They're all at that age where they should be probably having kids now later. But she was like, yeah, they were talking about kids and she was like, yeah, I want to have kids like a year, 2 years after we get married. He's like, why?
Well, he said 3 or 4.
And she's like, my biological clock. And then he goes, so? I'm like, how are you going to go against the biological clock here? Like, this guy's just a doofus. I don't know. I think he's there for the clout.
I don't even know what he does for work, if I'm being honest. I can't remember.
He needs to fix his hair. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing with his hair.
I saw someone have a TikTok saying he had the Jack Sparrow, like little pirate hair.
He's got the Jedi braided.
I know.
He looks ridiculous. I don't like the guy at all.
I know you don't.
I don't. You want to move on to the next one?
Okay.
Now we have Tim and Alex.
Okay.
This one has been rocky from the start until the last couple episodes.
I don't think I fully understand them still.
I don't either.
Like, I liked them in the pods. I felt like they were a good fit. They really talked about deep stuff, like about Tim's sisters, and
he's gone through a lot.
Like, yes, they definitely have talked a lot with each other about personal issues and family and stuff like that. And I loved them in the pods. Like me and you, like said, like, oh, we're gonna love them in the pods, like. And they got out, and it was just so weird.
It was a shit show.
So weird.
Like.
The way they talk to each other like they're siblings.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. They were like they were bickering back and forth like like they were in a classroom.
Yeah, I didn't think of it as an old married couple type of bicker because it felt to me, and maybe it's just me, but it felt to me more of when I was in toxic relationships, how we would talk to each other.
Yeah, it's for me. I looked at this relationship. I thought it was going to be over and done with because from what we watched, they made 7 couples, and technically they made 7 couples.
Yeah.
Usually they have 5, so I'm thinking that one of them's going to break up right then and there because one of them did, but then usually before the apartments and all that stuff, that's when
At least one breaks up.
at least one breaks up. And I thought that's what was going to happen because he dipped. They got into a huge fight after the first gathering.
We don't even know what the fight was about because they didn't show us anything.
That no one went into the pool.
Like, no one got in the pool party. But they never even talked about it. Like, they never talked about what the fight was.
No.
It basically, all I remember from it was that she...
But that's one of those jump cuts that they've been doing all season.
Hold on. All I remember is them talking about it was that they got they got back and she was overwhelmed and she wanted to be alone for a minute and he like freaked out. And he said, like either the episode before or like halfway through the episode or whatever, that if I like, he's like, I don't fight over little stuff. Like if I'm yelling and screaming and we're fighting, then we're done.
Yeah.
And then after when they got in the fight and he came back to the apartment, they kind of talked about it, kind of didn't. And she was like, you did not need to yell and scream at me like that. And he's like, yeah, I didn't. And I was like, didn't you say if you yell and scream, you're done? Like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Like, highly confused. But they also confused me.
They were always rocky. And now this is what I think where it started. Because basically they were just bickering back and forth the whole time throughout this experiment. But what was a turning point is when he met her family. When he met her family, started talking to her dad, those two, the similarities and the life experience that these two have had that is so similar, both born in England, both were born out of a military family.
She's talking about him and his dad. You never explained that.
Yeah, I did.
No, you said her and her family.
I mean, him, Tim and her dad.
Yeah.
They lived the same life basically. They were both born. Now I'll just repeat it so there's context.
Sorry.
Now they were both born in England. They were both in a military family. They were both in the military. They both love golf, and they're both from Georgia.
Yeah, I think so.
So like, you put all that together, that's a lot in common there. It's
well, and also the whole reason that they started to talk to so much to each other in the pods is they found out that Tim is has a younger brother to two older sisters.
Yep.
And Alex, right?
Yep.
Alex is, I couldn't remember if it was Alex or Alexis for some reason. Alex is a younger sister to two older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So like they were opposites.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they connected on when they first met in the pods, which was weird too.
Yeah, it was. That was really weird. But their dynamic, I don't know how I'm going to rank them when we rank them, but there really isn't much there besides the bickering, the constant bickering.
I feel like it's not so much bickering as it's petty.
It's a little petty jabs.
Yeah.
Petty jabs. Yeah,
but the conversation he had with her dad was so sweet.
That was probably the best thing that could happen.
Yes, it was probably the most sentimental thing that's been on Love is Blind.
Yeah.
It was very good.
He's a good dude. I think he's a good dude.
I had a lot of respect for him with that. Yes.
All right, let's move on to the next one because that one basically was it. There was nothing major besides that part.
Did I write anything in there for them?
No, you said it.
Okay.
And then we got Tyler and Ashley, which I
forgot
about. I forgot about them because there's so many people in these shows that you forget sometimes what people's names are, and this is the one that I forgot about. And we love this couple. This was our number one couple,
literally,
Tim and Ashley.
So adorable.
Until it wasn't.
Okay, but let's go back to them being adorable because they were so adorable.
Yeah, these people had everything all lined up. You know, they were the big faith people.
Yeah, they have the same religion, same interests. They have
same goals.
Yes, in life. Like they literally. Oh, I loved them in the pods, and I loved them in Mexico, and I loved them in the apartments. Like,
yeah,
they were like them on screen was like a comforting thing for me, like a feel good couple.
Yeah, they were so almost like living. Oh my god,
are you okay?
No, it's almost like they're living the American dream.
I loved them.
They were the peak. Like that's where you want to be, and that's how it was the whole time. Until
okay, but I want to go back to them still being cute.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because you can't just drop the bomb.
Okay.
Thank you.
Keep going.
No, but they were like, they had the same like structure of things. Like in Mexico, when the girls did like the hot seat on the boys, he immediately looked at Ashley and she's like, "That's my future wife. We're getting married." Like the confidence they had with each other.
Yeah.
Like was, I don't know. I loved them. Like I am so mad about what happened and I don't fully understand it, but they were my favorite couple this season. But Taylor and Garrett are a good second, but they're so quiet we don't hear much from them. Whereas, oh my gosh, Ashley and
Tyler,
thank you, God, they just like, you know, we're always right there.
Yeah.
Like
they were in the
of
middle.
pack.
Yeah, they were roaring.
Yes,
they were roaring.
They're leading.
Loud.
They're the leaders. Now you can drop the bomb.
Until we find out that he has 3 kids.
There's another jump cut into an.
Yeah, so Netflix, this season of Love is Blind, Netflix tried something different, and
it's making me mad.
They've been doing these jump cuts where there's zero context, zero filler.
Middle of conversation.
Right in the middle of a conversation of like something huge happening. But I don't know if it's them missing it or they're doing that shit on purpose because I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
So in the last episode, literally the end of the last episode that was released, they said that I can't believe that you didn't tell me this. You know, we've been going on for long, and I called it.
Yeah, he literally, because I was listening, and Josh is next to me, he goes, and he like said it, and I was like, I'm trying to hear. I can't hear what they're saying.
And this was like 5 minutes before they even said. I go, he has a kid. I bet you he has a kid. And sure enough, he doesn't just have one kid.
He has 3.
He's got 3 babies. But there was no context involved, so we got to wait till the next episode to find out.
Sperm donor.
Yeah, but then I read stuff online saying like there's paperwork saying that he's the father, but he's not in like the picture, like stuff like that. I don't know what that, because there's usually a difference between a sperm donor and then someone signing off kids.
I know, but do you remember what I told you when we were talking about it when the episode first came out?
No.
That it could have been one of his friends and her and or one of his friends and their wife, and they couldn't have kids because either he was infertile or whatever, like sperm count, like actual stuff. So like they asked if they would be a sperm donor for them, and he did. Or if it's a lesbian couple and they wanted to have a kid and they were really good friends with him and trusted him and liked like his like, you know, genes and asked him to be the sperm donor.
Yeah, I didn't like that they didn't clarify how it happened.
Yeah, it makes me so confused because she says sperm donor, and I feel like if it was a baby mama, she would say baby mama.
Yeah, but they're taking it as in like he had sex with this chick and these are actually his kids. But if it's a donor, you just get notified that somebody used it. You don't have to sign off saying that that's not your kid.
I know, gorgeous. That's why I'm saying the other two. I'm not saying he went to a sperm bank. I'm saying he was still a sperm donor. He just gave them their sperm. Because I feel like she would have said baby mama. And maybe she didn't out of respect to her and out of respect to him and being on the show, because she does seem one of those people that likes to be much more classy in front of the camera, which I completely respect.
Yeah, she's dope.
And that's I love her. And that could have been the reason why she said sperm donor instead of baby mama.
Sperm boner?
I'm talking fast. Sperm donor instead of baby mama. And that could be the case. Or it could just be because was a sperm donor for someone he knows.
Yeah. That really left them off on a weird level.
I'm so mad about it.
Yeah, like they were going so good, and then of course, you know, something's got to come up.
Like I think she deserves the absolute world. She is so sweet. Like, so sweet.
Yeah. Do you know who doesn't deserve the world?
Okay.
Steven. Okay.
Steven.
This has got to be the worst couple ever. And
I don't think it's the worst couple ever. I think it's the worst man we've had on the show ever.
This is bad. Like, he needs
Besides
to be on
Trevor last season.
He needs to be on House of Villains, like for real. Like,
no, don't put him on there. Don't put him on there.
Maybe he wants more girls in his DMs.
Exactly.
Okay, so these Steven and Monica's relationship in the pods were very easy. It was
weird.
It was it weird still?
It was weird.
Okay, it's been a while. It was
I
weird.
put notes in there. You can tell you didn't
they
read
were
my
not,
notes.
Yeah, pod conversations were not memorable. They were talking about politics, which we don't really have to get into. Just regretting to pick one side or the other.
I just put it in there
yeah.
as like that's the whole reason that Monica even I feel like sparked her interest with Steven was because he talked about that.
I feel like here's the thing. I feel like Love is Blind.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything needs to be blind. Don't tell me you're...
No, because some people have very, very strong opinions on religion and politics.
Yeah, that is true. But that's what sparked interest. They had the similar political.
There you go.
Political interests, and that just grew them together. But once they got together, you could tell something was off the whole time.
It was so weird.
And you just look at the two people, like you have a pretty good looking girl, probably one of the better looking, probably the top 3 in the show, and then you have this fat lard.
No, he reminds me of a Swedish lumberjack.
The Swedish lumberjack.
No,
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think he looks like overweight version of the Braun logo.
Okay, I will say one thing. If this breaks any core memories for people, the Red Riding Hood movie that is animated and has Red Riding Hood, the Swedish lumberjack, grandma, and the wolf, and they're all a team, and they like go after this, I think, bunny. And yeah. He looks like the guy, the lumberjack in that movie. That's what he makes me think of. Okay, sorry.
But when they're out of the pods, they're in Mexico. I guess, and I mean, we saw it. The guy would not shut the fuck up. Like he was just talking ears off. But then
I have one thing with that. I always thought when they talked outside the pods, he was talking so weirdly. Like he was talking like he was trying to be more sentimental than he actually is.
Like he was trying to chase.
Yes, he was overcompensating for himself.
Yeah.
Like he was like he would be like, I love how the girls loved me. I loved how the guys were supporting each other. That is so cool. Like blah blah blah. Like Steven, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if this is how you actually talk, but I do not think that's how you actually talk.
No, dude, that guy's man, that's rough.
It gave me Pick Me vibes a little bit that I didn't really necessarily like.
Yeah. It was not a good look, and his actions were even worse. So, these two would bicker back and forth about money, about things that they like, designer brands, and all that shit. But what really set it apart?
Well, he always talked about sex, which she didn't like.
He always talked about sex, not only with her, but with everyone on the cast. When they had that not pool party, they all got together, and all he was talking about was like, who's fucking? I'm fucking. He goes, my DMs are going to be fucking blitz right now with girls that just want to suck my dick.
Yeah, he said that to Taylor, bro.
He says that to girls that, like, it was just so disrespectful. So fast forward to the sexual nature.
Mm-hmm.
He decides to go get a sleep study, or said he was doing a sleep study.
This was another jump cut to a middle of a conversation that Netflix did.
Yeah, so they jump cut it, and it's just
Taylor and Monica talking.
Bawling. Yeah. And he's in the room too.
And she's like, I don't believe he went to a sleep study last night. I don't know what he did, but it was not that. Like, he was on the phone with this girl and this and that. And we just see him in the background in the kitchen as they're talking on the couch. Sorry, go on.
And what happened was that he said he was going to a sleep study, but then he also said he was drinking. Now, my dad's been to a bunch of sleep studies.
You're going to say my dad has drank a lot.
And has drank a lot of beer. But when you go to a sleep study, you're not supposed to drink.
Mm-hmm.
you're not supposed to be under anything because they're testing how you sleep. And that all that stuff is just gonna mess up the charts and what they're trying to read. So you're not supposed to drink when you're going to a sleep study. He said he was drinking that night. He never went to no sleep study.
He also was on his phone texting a girl.
Yeah, and he was on his phone all night texting the girl.
But you're supposed to be asleep.
But you're supposed to be sleeping because they actually have like, I'm pretty sure they have like bedtimes and like stuff when you have to wake up and stuff like that where they have to check all your shit when you're sleeping too. So that's total bullshit. And what cracked me up, what was the end all be all at the end of that conversation between those two? She goes, I need you to send me the money I've been pulling for you this whole time.
Well, because he doesn't have a job either.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job either.
He's an electrician, isn't he?
Yep.
But he didn't have a job either, so she was paying for everything. But like, the whole reason the whole drinking thing came up is that she confronted him about the text messages because he was texting about all these kinky, disgusting stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm sorry, I was drunk, I didn't know what I was doing.
No, he said he knew what he was doing.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He goes, I knew what I was doing, I knew I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
Makes him even more of a villain.
And I still don't want him on the villain show.
Neither do I.
And so that came up. That's why me and Josh kind of looked at her like, what? And then when things were just adding up in our brains. And yeah, when she said that, she was like, because at first I was confused why she was asking for a Venmo. And then I was like, oh my God, he doesn't have a job. She's been paying for everything the past couple days. Yeah.
That's a lot. I wonder how much money he was sent over.
I can't, if honestly and truly how disgusted and shaken up Monica was, I can't even imagine what those texts said.
Yeah, they were probably bad.
Like, she was so disgusted by it.
Yeah, that's not fun. Like, I feel like that was so unneeded when you're on a TV show too, and you know, like, of course, no matter what, it's fucking wrong. But when you're on a TV show, it's amplified by fucking 1,000, and you do that dumb shit. Like, it makes. You remember a couple seasons ago when at the end of the season where the one girl was on the altar and she didn't get married to him, but she like bashed him about like oranges, about eating oranges or something.
And
then it turns out they had the scene at the end and he did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yes.
I feel like that guy needs some praise and this guy needs to be buried as much as that guy did.
Yeah. Well, he everyone was on his side after the post-credit scene came out. I feel like, because Steven even said, like, I should have never came on the show. Like, same with Trevor last season. Like,
I feel like
what is with these big, bulky, burly men coming on these shows like this?
I think they only say that because I knew they fucked up.
But I'm saying, like, Trevor and him have the same body build. And it happened again, like, twice.
Do you think that this girl that he was texting is a girl that he's been talking to back home?
Oh, because he did say he had a serious relationship in the pods before.
It could be that. He could be double dipping, babe.
Yeah.
Could have double dipped.
Monica deserves better.
Hell yeah. But that's pretty much their relationship. Their relationship ended a couple episodes before the last one.
Monica told Garrett, who, again, Garrett and Taylor are together, told Garrett to check up on him still. And I swear, Monica, if you get back together with that man, I am finding you and we are having a talk. Because what is going on with all of these women taking back these gross men?
I don't get it. But now, this last couple is
short and sweet because we didn't get much.
Short and sweet because we didn't get much because they literally did not film them.
Yeah.
Is Leo and Brittany. Literally said they got together, got engaged.
Well, that's so the end. Go from the beginning, gorgeous.
Oh. It is the good old rich man versus
He's
the
trying to give you
gold
guys
digger.
the ending right away. Come on, some suspense.
So when Brittany was in the pods, she straight up said, I'm here to marry someone that has money so I don't have to work.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. But
you read it in an article? Is that why you put it on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was in there.
Brittany, and the beginning girl. I'm saying this like they're watching this, but that's how I'm gonna talk. You're an esthetician. I'm an esthetician. All right. In the beginning, you were giving us a bad name for sure, being very bougie about it. You did redeem yourself towards the middle, and then you did not redeem yourself in the end. But in the beginning, I did not like her. And I straight up told Josh, I do not like her.
I didn't like her either.
Like, she gave me bad vibes in the beginning.
Well, once you say that you just want someone for money, and then you have a guy like Leo that all he was talking about is how much money he has and how he didn't know what to do with any of his money.
And it just fell in my lap. It's a family business.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Yeah.
Like, Leo, go
I bet you
go
that.
away.
I wonder how that family business is doing now after looking like a clown
okay,
on TV. But basically, like, Leo was with two girls, like Hannah and Brittany, like we said earlier, and couldn't be with Hannah, so he was like, I'm gonna be with Brittany.
But Hannah told Brittany what happened with that conversation, that he tried to tell Hannah not to break up with him. Brittany, I could swear that woman walked into that room with Leo and planned to break up with him, because that letter she read to him was a breakup letter.
Oh, yeah.
And no one can tell me differently.
Oh, yeah.
And that man said, I love you. And Brittany, babe, you literally fell to your knees like, okay, you're fine. I'll take you back.
She folded.
Why? That man is disgusting. And you knew that as soon as those doors opened and you saw his face. That man is disgusting.
Yeah, he is kind of gross.
Like, he gives me creeper stalker vibes.
He gives me that
Not
I'm gonna pay off everything type of vibe.
Yes. I was so disappointed. I really started to like her towards the beginning, like middle of the show, of the pods. As soon as she took Leo back, I was like, oh no, she's on my bad radar again.
Well, we might see them again
with
these
probably.
last 4 episodes, because they did not make it past anything. They didn't even get recorded, and it said on the screen that they were only together for like 2 weeks. And
so they got engaged. They met, which was a really weird encounter meeting.
Oh, gross.
And then Netflix said, we decided not to follow this couple. They did end up going to Miami together to celebrate their engagement and broke up a few weeks later.
I wonder how bad that was. I wonder if it was super bad and they couldn't record it.
I feel like they couldn't. They went to Miami and they couldn't record them. They didn't choose them. I feel like they didn't choose them because they were going to be the most drama this season. And we've had a lot of drama seasons, and I felt like they wanted, because there was at least 3 couples we thought were very good for each other, and they wanted a different, I think, spectrum of this season.
Yeah, because last season was terrible.
Yeah.
Only one couple got engaged or got married?
Yeah, I think so. But like this one had Taylor and Garrett, who like in the pods you think, oh yeah, they're good. Tim and Alex in the pods were like, okay, yeah. And then Tyler and Ashley were like, oh yeah, cool. So there was 3 like standing couples where we were like, okay, cool. We're not gonna kick one of them out to bring in this couple. It's just gonna be drama.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because all of them had potential.
But that also gives me another question. How many other couples are there out there from Love is Blind that went through the experiment that didn't get picked?
I've seen a lot of people come out about it.
Yeah.
And Lauren and Cameron, again, from the first season. I know I keep talking about them, but I love them. They have a podcast. And they've talked about it before. I've had multiple other couples from other seasons come out and talk about stuff like that. They only choose 6, and honestly and truly, and I've said it before, if I was on the show, I would not want to be one of the 6.
Yeah,
because that's a lot of pressure.
It is, and I mean, it's just hard.
I know they pay for the wedding, and I know everything like that, but I don't know if I could do it.
I just feel like I don't think I could even be on like one of those type of shows. Like I wouldn't want to. Like put me on Survivor or put me on Big Brother or
Okay, Big Brother's better.
Put me on something where I don't have to marry someone and then I'm gonna enjoy it.
You want to marry me?
Girl. You know you my woman.
Okay, that seems property.
No.
No.
It was playful.
Okay.
Okay, out of all the couples now,
okay, you gotta
let's
go
start
through
from the beginning.
Okay.
We're gonna rank them one. We'll rank them 1 out of 5.
Okay,
five being yes, they are going to. 1 being no, dead no. Garrett and Taylor. I'm thinking 4.
Me too. A 4.
Nick and Hannah.
A 1.
I don't think they're getting married. He leaked something too. What an idiot.
I didn't hear it, but you told me. But I still don't think they're gonna get married, even if that wasn't.
I'm not gonna say what he leaked, but he leaked something. You guys could probably find it. Ramses and Marissa. 1.
Okay. I want to say 1, but I feel like I'm gonna say 2. Just because I feel like Marissa.
I feel like she's just gonna fold into him.
Yes, and I feel like he's gonna be the one to say no, and it's not gonna be her.
Okay, I agree with you. 2.
Okay.
2. Tim and Alex. I think a 4.
I think a 3.5 for me.
It's okay. 3.5.
Just because we haven't met his family yet.
That is true. Okay. Yep. Okay. 3.5. 3.5. Tyler and Ashley.
If you would have asked me before the last episode, a 5. I'm going to say 3. Right in the middle.
Okay.
Because we don't know the full story.
I agree with you, 3, because they really kind of put a huge hump in. Steven and Monica don't count, and then Leo and Brittany don't count. So
we for sure think that Garrett and Taylor are going to get married. And if they don't, I'm going to be so disappointed.
There's got to be at least one marriage this one.
I'm going to be so disappointed if they don't get married.
Yeah. But, hey, that's been an episode. It's a little different episode that we had today.
We're big reality show fans.
Yeah, I really wanted to do a deep dive because a lot happened and a lot was on my mind. A lot on our mind.
Sometimes Josh watches these with me, especially Love is Blind, and we both play on our phones for certain episodes and certain times in the episodes because it's a lot of talking, and he has really bad ADHD and he just listens better that way, but he doesn't listen always. So he'll look up and he's like, wait a second, what about this? And I'm like, no, you missed it. It's like this, and that. And he goes, oh, okay. So I have to re-explain things to him. So, yeah.
Yeah. But, hey, so this episode's going to release the Wednesday that all the rest of the episodes are going to...
There's going to be 2 episodes out, 10 and 11.
By the time this is out?
Yes.
Okay.
12 will come out...
in 2 weeks from... this week.
Yeah, so 12 so it's the last 2 episodes before the last episode, which is all the marriages, or there might be like half the marriages in there, and then the finale. So there's still 4 more episodes left, but the last 2 before the weddings will be out the same day this will.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So 2 episodes when this are going to be out when this releases, and then next week, as you guys are watching this, will be the finale. We're going to come back in 2 weeks. I'm saying like come back on this topic in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Definitely there's always a new episode every week. Like what do you think we're doing? How do you inch? How do you get better? But anyways, I'm Josh Bogs Life Boger. This is my beautiful girlfriend Faith Zimmerman. This has been another episode of Every Inch Counts. If you're not inching, what are you doing with your life? And I'll see you next week. All right. Peace.
Bye.